Yes. What is your coffee order? I need to know this.
It's a London fog tea latte. It's
Lots
like a
of-
tea latte.
Yeah, what does that mean? A London fog tea, Tracy. What is that?
It's Earl Grey tea with lavender syrup and honey and steamed milk.
What? That sounds so good.
Have you ever had it?
No.
It sounds delicious.
It really does.
Are we
It's
missing
really-
out?
I think so. I had one and I've never gone back. So
All right.
and
Well,
you can get
I'm
them
sorry.
wherever, all the local coffee shops. So we have so many local coffee shops that are really wonderful, and they'll make it for you.
And I feel certain that Ray at Sweet Beans on campus makes the best one.
Ray is great. We are
Oh, we
so
love
happy to have Sweet Beans here. It's
No,
a treat.
that is so great. Now, do you drink coffee before you leave the house and then have have the London fog when you get to work?
Actually, my husband makes a version of a London frog. It's not quite steamed milk in it, but in the morning he usually brings me a cup of tea. And while I'm reading the News Times and the New York Times headlines and the Washington Post, I read a lot of things in the morning, and then I get going. And sometimes I'll stop and get a second one, but it's a treat. Yeah, I
I
stopped
love
drinking
that.
coffee a little while ago because it was making my stomach feel bad.
Yeah. So you found your solution. And I also want you to know, I don't know if you know this, but I really think that we all need one of Tracy's husbands. I mean, I feel like every time I talk to you, I know. So he picks her clothes out. And she has the best
clothes.
style. I know it.
What?
I know it's all these like really tailored and structured things that look fabulous on her.
It's-
and he picks them out.
It sounds like he needs to teach a husband class at the community college.
So.
I think that would be great. He's like the best partner ever. And he can look at something online and order it and it fits me. And I do that and it doesn't fit me.
Sure. Wow,
So-
what a blessing.
Okay. I mean, I feel like we could all just go home now.
Sure.
Because this is
done.
bye.
He definitely picked out this dress. So
Wow.
Oh man,
Great
it's
job.
so good. It's so good. Okay, you guys, if y'all are just joining us, first of all, happy Friday. And we are here with Dr. Tracy Mancini, who is the president of Carteret Community College. And so if you've not had the pleasure of actually meeting Dr. Mancini, you are missing out. She is fabulous and she's doing such a great job at the helm of something that is really such a feather in our cap and such a gem for our community. So we're going to talk today a little bit about some of the things that they have going on at Carteret Community College and some ways that you guys can plug in and get involved. So thanks for joining us.
thank you.
So I think it'd be really cool to give people insight into you and how you got here. So will you give us a little bit of your background and your story?
Sure. Well, I have 4 different kinds of degrees. I have a business degree and a master's in English, a master's in theological studies, and then my doctorate is in educational leadership.
Wow.
And so I think I kind of had this circuitous route to get to where I am. But when I started out in work, I was in marketing and advertising for a large financial services firm. And I always, when I was a little girl, my sister and I would play school and I was the teacher, and she's never let me forget that. But while I was working in New York, I thought, I still really always wanted to be a teacher. So I kind of started going back to school and eventually became an English teacher at Durham Tech. I started teaching there. And then I loved it. I did that for a while, but I kept seeing bigger connections to the community and wanted to get outside of my teaching lane and look for partnerships and other improvements. And my husband kept saying, well, if you want to do that, you got to be part of the solution. You got to get in there. And so I just kept moving up in leadership. And then in 2016, I was so fortunate to get a vice presidency here at Carteret Community College. And I came here, and then 4 years later, I was just so thrilled to become president of this college. So it's been this amazing journey.
That's so cool. That is so neat. And I remember, Dr. Mancini, hearing you speak at the Women in Business Conference and talking about the role that your mother played also. So I love you referencing your mother and your sister and what a big role they've had in getting you here.
Yeah, my mom was a nurse and she moved all the way up the ranks. She became a CEO of a hospital before she retired. So she's been a role model for me.
It's amazing. And I remember you saying that you weren't even aware of her new role, and you went home to visit and saw her on the side of a bus. Do I remember that correctly?
That's exactly right.
I
My
remember
dad-
that
I
now.
remember being like, what?
That is amazing.
Anyway, I know. So a history of strong women in your family, that's for sure. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So Dr. Mancini, tell us right now, it's a big year for the community college. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, and you can call me Tracy because we're having tea and coffee. So,
Oh my gosh,
Great.
we're on this
I
level.
love that.
So yes, on July 11th, this past summer, the college turned 60 years old, which
Wow.
is pretty amazing if you think about the thousands of people who've gotten credentials and certificates and degrees, and the thousands of people who've been involved here at the college. So we were thrilled. We had a little kickoff for a year-long celebration of our 60 years. And we unveiled a new mascot. We've never had 1 year in the 60-year history, there was a mascot, but because there was for a short time a basketball team, but that was decades ago. And so we decided we needed a mascot, and we have a new one.
Oh my gosh. A Kraken.
Okay, I just love
Kraken.
how they're coming around.
It's
Is
really
it
so
cute.
good. It's so good.
And
So yeah, we actually have a little octopus in our aquaculture program.
Cool.
So it's the live mascot for the college. But we're the only one of the 58 community colleges in North Carolina that has an aquaculture program. And we love showing it off. So people should come and ask for a tour.
Oh, that's cool. I love how that's connected to, the mascot has a little story. I
I do
assume he
too.
will not be leaving his tank to attend events, but we'll pretend.
They're pretty crafty.
Well, there you go.
It's true.
I know. Side note, have y'all read Remarkably Bright Creatures?
Yes.
Wasn't it great? I loved that.
Oh, it was a great book. And I'm in a book club. I love my book club. And it was one of the selections someone made. And I was amazed. And that, and also My Octopus Teacher. Have
Exactly.
you seen
Oh,
Yes,
I have seen that one.
That was
Yes.
great. But remarkable, it makes you really have a whole new appreciation for those types of animals. Really
So
amazing.
that octopus did escape a lot in the aquarium, but our octopus has some astroturf around the top of his tank, so that apparently the suction cups don't stick to the astroturf, so it keeps him from escaping.
Okay, so all of his adventures are in his tank.
Good.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Keep him safe. Protect him at all costs.
I love that. That is so cool. Okay, and then the other big thing, first of all, your view is just spectacular. And I noticed that you've got a rendering of Joslyn Hall. So what can you tell us? I love Joslyn Hall. I think it's just such it reminds me of being in school. It reminds me of being in college and the kind of the smaller lecture halls where I used to attend things. So tell us what's happening with Joslyn Hall right now.
Well, thanks. Yeah. So for our 60th anniversary, the college leadership team and the planning committee got together, and we were wondering what we could do as a gift to the community for our 60th birthday. And we realized that Joslyn Hall had been built in 1972, and it still looks like 1972 in there. But it's so important because during COVID, for example, it allowed us to keep having classes. We took classes that would have 25 or 30 people in a small room. We were able to bring them into Joslyn Hall and spread them out really far. And we did a pretty good job of continuing through COVID to offer classes and programming here. And it just kept a lot of people on track to get their degrees and to finish what they started. So we thought, well, what if we update? It's not a complete renovation, but what if we do a fundraiser during this year to update Joslyn Hall? And so you can see this rendering that we have shows a brighter Joslyn Hall with some seats that don't squeak and soundproofing, just a lot of good improvements. And I was going to say, because this past year there were 93 employee meetings and different meetings in Joslyn Hall here at the college. Over 300 classes met.
wow.
in Joslyn Hall, and the community used it about 50 times for either theater events or lectures. And so it gets used a lot by the entire community, not just the college. So we thought that'd be a really good goal to set for this year.
That is so great. And it sounds like y'all are having a great response to this.
It's been remarkable. So we're really thrilled that we had a goal to raise about $304,000 to do these updates. And we are just about there. We're very close to meeting that goal.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, how can folks support? I know there's an online donation. Are there any other ways that people can kind of plug in and support that goal?
Yeah, so one of the ways is if you'd like to get your name on a seat, you could be here for the next 60 years in Joslyn Hall with your name on one of the new seats. We're selling those, and we may end up having an announcement for a special donor that is naming some part of that. So that's something people can look out for. But we're also having an exciting gala to celebrate the 60th anniversary, and it'll be September 29th.
Okay.
At the Civic Center. We're having the full band of Liquid Pleasure there. So they'll be dancing, and Floyd's 1921 will have big hors d'oeuvre stations and bar raffle, silent auction. And we've been donated from Jewel Smith, actually in Durham, donated a strand of black diamond beads for our Diamond Bash. And so people can buy a ticket for that raffle. Even if you can't come to the event, you can go online and do that. So if you want, I can send you the link for that.
Perfect. And we'll post
great.
it right
We'd
in
love
the
to post
comments
that.
so people can.
But then our proceeds will help us to update Joslyn Hall for the next 60 years for students and for the community. And also any extra that we get from that event, we will be using for student scholarships, equipment for our programs, and professional development for our faculty and staff.
Amazing. So you get a great time at the gala, and you're supporting students and our community college. I love that.
I do too. I do too. And I think, Tracy, before we let you go, so folks understand now ways that they can support the college here in its 60th year during the celebration by donating, by attending the event. One of the things I often think about is that we're so lucky to have the community college, and sometimes it feels like that people don't understand the ways that they can connect and get involved and be a part of it also. So what are some of those ways that if someone just wants to feel like they're a part of everything that's happening there?
Thanks. Yeah, I like to think that we're sort of the hub of a wheel in this community, because we're called a comprehensive community college. There's this big movement for that years ago, but because we have adult high school, we have the high school career and college promise dual enrollment program. We do the degree programs, like you said, MC, and then we have life enrichment for people. So, for example, my husband retired a little over a year ago, and I wanted him to help us with enrollment numbers and stuff. So he is taking decoy carving here at the college.
Cool.
He's made this great group of friends, and he's making these beautiful ducks. And he's also taking artistic welding and making beautiful art. I never knew that he had that in him, but you can take yoga, learn to play bridge, computer science classes. Plus we have a small business center. So a lot of times people at different points in their life think about a side gig. I want to start a business. And we have a small business center here that's completely free. People can take all these workshops and develop a business plan, get some advice from consultants, and it's free.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
So you can.
And one other thing I forgot to mention, if you have some expertise in a field, we have these lay advisory committees for each of our programs, and we invite a couple of times a year members of the community in to help us shape the future of our programs, help us stay relevant, make sure that we're paying attention to trends in industries and business, so that we keep our finger on the pulse of what's going on in different careers and fields. So people can volunteer to be part of that.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. I think that's so important for folks to know. And I did know this from coming to the community college for multiple events, but I think the reminder of it makes me want to go online and look at your
I
classes.
know, really.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, I think that is so cool. This has been so informative, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you. And I just feel so much more connected to something that I think is such a special resource for us.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. You all are great supporters. We just love having you around, and I think you might even be helping us with a leadership academy coming up. MC, we're so excited you're going to help us with a book with trustology. I think.
Yes,
That's
I
awesome.
know. I just started it.
Oh, I
and
can't
I'm
wait.
very excited. Yes. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to do that, Tracy. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. And so before we let you go, Meg, would you like to ask Tracy our final question?
I would love to. We would love to know what has been saving your life lately.
Saving my life lately, besides the London fog tea,
Right.
has
Right.
been, I have right at this moment, I have an amazing team here at the college. And for example, a few weeks ago when we had the tropical storm, Adalia, we were all making decisions about what do we do the next day. And I like to make team decisions. I don't like to say this is what we're doing. So I just put out to my key team, is everybody good with this? Or what do you think about that? And within 5 minutes, every single one of them responded. I mean, they're just engaged and they're committed. And I think that they are saving my life right now because of their commitment. They inspire me. I trust them. I continue to work hard to make sure they trust my leadership. And I think together we're really addressing a lot of issues and needs in the community. So they are saving my life because they're just fantastic.
That's really good. That's so nice. And
Beautifully
doesn't it make coming to work so much more fun to do it alongside people who are in it with you?
It really does. It's remarkable because we always hear that you spend more time with the people you work with than you do with some of your family members. And so nice to come in and feel like you have this great group of people who are not only excellent professionals, but just really good people. So I'm blessed by that and blessed by a lot of good partners in this community. I think Carteret County is amazing.
It really is. It is. Well, Carteret County is mighty lucky to have you, Tracy. Thank you for joining us and happy Friday.
Well, happy Friday, y'all.
We'll see you soon.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye. See you.
Oh, man.
We didn't get to ask her the question that we wanted to ask her, the fun fact. We were chatting before we hopped online, and she had a very good fun fact that
We'll have to have her back.
Okay, we'll leave everyone on the edge of their seat.
It was really good.
It was. Do you have something that's saving your life?
I do. And you know what? Actually, I kind of referenced it when we were talking. I took like a big break from reading fiction. I'm always reading a lot of business books and that kind of thing, but I took a break from fiction for a while and now I'm back into it. I know I was referencing earlier reading Remarkably Bright Creatures, which was great. And y'all, right now, I just need you to see, this is what I'm reading right now. It's called The Marriage Portrait. And I have this many pages left. It's basically all I can think about is what's going to happen to her.
That's the best feeling.
I know. And so I feel I can't tell you that it's going to end well. So I may have to come back and post add a little post later.
You're almost.
I know, but gosh, is it good? And it's so well written. And I've learned some new vocabulary words for real. Like her, I mean, the way she writes, I'm telling you, the way I have plenty of words to learn, but like words I've actually wanted to learn. I don't know.
Interesting.
I just read
it an easy, like, is it a smooth read or is she like very verbose? Like with these,
She's very descriptive and the way she describes it is just so it's happening in the late 1500s, early 1600s in Italy.
Ooh, that is not what I would think from the cover.
I know, right? Okay. I don't know. Reading. So I guess just whatever it is, I'm just really, really enjoying that. How about you?
Mine doesn't connect to yours at all, but I realized I have 4 of your books that I need to return to you. Because I've been decluttering. We've been in the process of moving. And the thing that's saving my life is kind of, I don't like having a lot of things and like clutter and all of that. So it's felt so good to just slowly go through everything, get rid of, or not get rid of, but donate some books and stuff like that I have read, don't need anymore, give back to people who need them. Clothes, just like it feels very clean, very fresh, and yeah, just feeling good. I feel like when you have a clean and decluttered space, it really impacts
Oh
your
my
whole,
gosh, it
like,
makes such a difference.
even your work day where you're not even at home, like you're at the office, but you know in the back of your head your house is clean.
I think it makes such a big difference. Well, I think it's the same mindset between like making your bed every morning.
Oh yes, you're a big proponent.
You know,
of
like if
that.
you just
Yes.
accomplishing that one thing and then you're like, okay, now
Yep.
let me just knock down all the other things I've got to do.
Exactly. It's like the kickoff to your productivity.
Exactly right. Taking the fork out of your microwave.
People probably still don't know what we're talking about.
Gosh. Okay. Happy Friday, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks.